Hey everyone, welcome back to Bird Talk with Terrence Mathis. I'm William Brandon. Please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel Atlanta Sports Unlimited and turn on those notifications so you don't miss an episode. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks, the simplest sports fantasy game on the market. You can pick from multiple sports platforms. And get this, if you sign up using the code ASU, Prize Picks will 100% match your initial offer up to $100. Download the app for free at the Google Play Store or the App Store. Well, the Falcons pulled out a thriller in their first preseason game of the year against the Lions, winning 27-23 with a fourth down TD throw by rookie Desmond Ridder. What'd you think about the game?
Well, you really got what you wanted to see out of your first units. Both teams, they both went down and scored on the opening drives whatsoever. I didn't like it for us letting them score, but at the end of the day, you've seen some good things. You've seen some positive things. You've seen some. I was encouraged by the offensive play calling in that game. It was aggressive. It was fun to watch. Defensively, you can't really gauge actually what was going on because there was a lot of big plays being given up, a lot of points being given up. So as I watched it, I can see just a very vanilla-based defense, and what he was trying. I can see what Pease was trying to do: put his guys lined up, lineman assignment, so they can play fast, so you can see who you're gonna keep on the roster. So as you go on, you'll probably see the starters or the backups play more, and hopefully we see more exotic things from the defense. Because here's my point to that is this: it all the stuff you do defensively in practice against the scout team looks good. It works because you scripted against what you want to see. So you kind of scripted for you to win in practice, so it looks good. So you have to show a little bit in this preseason to see, okay, what works, what don't work, what do we need to change whatsoever, what players need to do this better, because I feel that you get a misconception that it's good when it's really not, because of the fact that you're going against a scout team that you set the cards up for you to win. So I want to see this defense come out next game and be some more exoticness, some blitzes, some coverage, some mix up in coverages whatsoever. I want to see that. Offensively, I was impressed by both quarterbacks. They got out of the pocket. They made some plays with their legs. They threw the ball on time. They threw some good balls. They had some drop, but that's okay. His first preseason game, jitters whatsoever. So, but everyone's talking about Ridder being a starter, and we knew going into this camp that it was going to be a quarterback controversy. But they had to name a starter going into camp so it wouldn't be a distraction. Mariota is your starter week one. He's your starter. Ridder, I think, will be productive if he gets a chance to play. Preseason gives you. I like Ridder poise, and it looks like he's been in the league for 3 to 4 years already. Just the way he plays, his demeanor, I love it. His poise, I love it. His control and his command of the offense and the huddle, I love it. He's gonna be a really good football player, good quarterback in the near future, if not great. But right now, this is Marcus Mariota's team.
Let me rewind for a second because you mentioned the defense. So is there fans shouldn't feel any type of way about them getting scored on right out the gate then?
No, and we just trying to figure out who can rush the passer, who can't, who can coverage, who can't, who can we rely on, what can I do defensively that's going to make us successful. Are we a man-to-man team? Are we a zone team? Are we a zone blitz team? Are we a zone dog team? Do we bring 5? Do we bring 6? Or do we just bring 3 or 4? He's trying to figure it out. Okay. He has the guys that you can see the speed on the field. He has the guys he wants. But right now, I wouldn't have no concern about what's going on defensively.
Okay. What about Drake? Drake London, a rookie receiver, made a big catch and came up hobbling or favoring his knee. They don't expect it to be anything long term, but as soon as that happened, a collective sigh around Atlanta was probably like, oh gosh, no.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I pray that he's gonna be fine, and he will be. Um, but here's the thing that scares me is the comment or the announcement from the Falcons is that, oh, he'll be all right. We don't see this being a serious knee injury. This is nothing to be concerned about. This is,
Mhm.
you know, and when you say those things, when you say that in that context, it tells me that there's more to it,
Yeah.
because you're not saying there's a sprained knee, you're not saying there's a bone bruise, you're not saying there's a meniscus tear or cartilage tear or whatever. You're not saying, you just say, oh, we don't see it as being that serious. He'll be
Mhm.
okay the next 2 weeks or so. That's a concern to me, because they're trying to figure out, is he going to be okay in the next 2 weeks? And I pray to God that he is okay, because this guy has been through a whole lot in his college career with injuries, and
Yeah.
now he gets to fulfill a dream to play in the National Football League, and I want him to have a long career with the Atlanta Falcons. But I think we should, I think we, as the fans, the league deserves to hear more about what's going on with Drake London.
Yeah. Would you play him any more of these
No,
preseason games or?
no, I wouldn't play him. I wouldn't play him another preseason game at
Okay.
all. I would just, you know, just make sure he gets some good reps and practice, but I
Mhm.
won't play him again in the preseason.
Okay. Yeah, I was pleased overall with the aspects. Like I said, the defense, there wasn't too much we could take from that, but I was happy to see the
Right.
starting offense be able to score a
Hmm.
touchdown and Mariota use legs. I said before though, I was worried, and not worried, but when he was just running and diving, I'm like, man, it's the preseason. You out
Right.
there flying
Yeah.
around, but
Yeah.
it shows his
Yeah.
competitiveness. So I appreciate that
Right.
whether it's preseason or regular season, he wanted to do what it took.
Right. Right. You gotta understand, this was uh, the best college quarterback when he was in college. I
Hmm.
mean, he was the best player in college, when Heisman Trophy and all those things. So he has some talent, with his legs. He has some talent throwing the ball. I think once they figure out what weapons he's going to have around him, uh, then we'll know better. But what was really encouraging is the run game.
Yes.
Each unit ran the ball well. So they've corrected their issues in the running game, and I like it. And I think, if you can keep teams off balance and run the football well, you're gonna throw the football well. But when you have a quarterback that can move out of the pocket and make plays with his legs, it makes your offense more dangerous. And I love what the Atlanta Falcons are doing offensively right now.
Yeah, it definitely made it more dangerous. I mean, it was a preseason game, but you could see it was keeping the defense honest because they didn't
Right,
know what the quarterback might or might not do. And I was glad to
right.
see Algier, the rookie running back. I like his running style,
Yes,
and he seems a
yeah, I
hard
do
nosed
too.
runner. Yeah.
Yeah. His running style is made for this offense.
Hmm.
Downhill, one cut and go, and hit it and go, and I like it. And going back to the quarterbacks is this: if you watch that game when the defense was rushing the passer, they weren't eager to get back there, because they figured, if I get there too quick, he may make me miss.
Yeah.
In the past, when you have a quarterback that sits there, you can get there and say, oh, he's not going to make me miss. He's going to stand in the pocket. So you got to, when you get past that offensive lineman, you got to be ready to say, gather your feet and go, I got to make a solid tackle. I can't just keep going because this guy make me miss. So that's what I like about this new system whatsoever. And again, let's go back defensively. It's early.
Yeah.
You got to understand, you have what, maybe 7 new faces on the defense, six
Yeah.
new faces on the defense. So I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged.
Yeah, their next preseason game is this Monday night. They take on one of your former teams, the New York Jets. What do you want to see out of the team going against the Jets?
Well, I just want to see the defense expand the playbook a little bit more. Let's do a little bit more things, because we know in that third preseason they're not going to play much. So you'll see the starters probably more this next preseason game. I just want to see I want to see them get ready for opening day in this next preseason game. Play a whole half or whatever it may be. Just to, I want to see a solid game plan offensively and defensively in this next game. And I want to see the offensive line get better and better and better and better. I want to see if they can hold up.
Yeah.
And understand this Jets team ain't no joke now. They got some dudes on defense. They got some dudes on offense. They can play. So it's a good test for us because it's two young, pretty much young teams trying to figure out who they are early before the season starts.
Yeah, I think it'll be another good test for them. Maybe Kyle Pitts might play in this one. He didn't play in the first one, but I don't think that's a big deal, But like I said, maybe he'll suit up and go. But I hope the defense does stay on the field a little longer and show more. And now that you mentioned that third game, I wonder how the coaches are going to handle that. If they're going to treat the last preseason game 3 as like they would the fourth one and not play anybody, or I wonder if since they've got an extra week. Well, not an extra week. They got a week off. I wonder if they'll play the starters then.
Right. Well, if it was me, I would play my starters for maybe a quarter, maybe a series, maybe 2 series, just to still get the feel of the game, because you got to understand it's going to be a long after the last preseason game. It's going to be a while before you play again. So you want to be able to, because if you play Monday night and don't play again to opening day as a starter, that's a long time. So I think that third game is you got to be very strategic of how you play your starters in that last game, but they need some reps. This is a young football team. They need as much reps and much live action as they can get.
Yeah, definitely. What did you think about the O-line play in the preseason game?
I thought it was good. I thought it was good. The Lions don't have from the first, what happened to Matthews on that one play.
Yeah.
With Hutchinson. But other than that, that was just, that was a mistake that you probably won't see again from him. He ducked his head and lunged at the guy who was quick, strong, and powerful, and he made him miss whatsoever. But after that, I didn't see any more problems. I think that the right tackle job is still open. I think it is. I think, it may change. I thought we did good in the middle whatsoever.
Yeah.
They talked about the centers, is a battle there, but you have to, going into this game, solidify who your starting center is going to be week 1. You can't wait until the week of the game to say he's my starter, because he got to get used to the other 4 guys. They got to get used to him. Quarterback got to get used to the center. So you can't play games with that position. You got to have a guy. That's my guy, and we're gonna go with it.
Yeah, they definitely got to get that continuity together before. And I was shocked because they re-released a new depth chart, and it still has Matt Hennessy or Drew Dahlman, and I'm like, come on, this is the second preseason game. We've got to get this buttoned up and solidified who's going to be your center on it, so that way they can get that rhythm going.
Well, and here's the thing, and that's when your offensive line coach, a very, very experienced offensive line coach, will just say, hey, here's our guy. This is what we're going with. Ain't no hurt feelings, because the backup saying, hey, I'm the backup. It is what it is. It's not like, you pick one guy, you got to release the other. He's still on the roster. So, he's going to be disappointed, but he ain't going to quit on you.
Yeah.
He's going to keep playing. So you just got to make a decision and live with it. And if it doesn't work out, you got a guy that can come in and fill his spot and do better or just as well. So, you're in a good position there, but you got to make a decision right now.
Yeah, definitely. So Terrence was at the practice on Monday at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. How was that, Terrence?
Well, it was, for one, having it on a Monday, you don't have a lot of fans out because it's a work day, it's work week. Braves played that night. So you're not going to have a lot of people out. but it was a decent crowd out there. Practice was, it moved fast. They were doing things, but I was thrown back a little bit because when we were at training camp at Flowery Branch, you seen a sense of urgency. You
Mhm.
seen a group of guys that was just itching to get out there and play to prove to people that they're a good football team. And then I thought watching them on Monday was a team that thought they had already accomplished something because they won a preseason game. You see what I'm saying? That makes sense.
Mhm.
Um, I didn't see from the, and I'm not talking, people listen to me. I'm not talking bad about anybody. I'm just talking about how, I'm just talking about football. Pat Terrell is that dude.
Mhm.
The first one-on-one, he shut down a receiver. As soon as the ball snapped, I said, oh, he's covered. He covered every guy. He practiced like it was game day.
AJ.
And I was really impressed with that. And that was what we was talking about a couple of weeks ago. Remember when I told you, if you that dude, don't matter who you go against, you play your best
Yeah.
in practice. And that's what Terrell does. That's how he practices. That's why he is good as he is. I can't say that for every other guy on the roster.
Mhm.
I can't say that. I know one thing that I seen that I was thrown back by in a good way. Patterson is the best route runner on this football team. And he should be starting at wide receiver
Tell me
with
why.
Drake London. No doubt, he should be at wide receiver with Drake London and Kyle Pitts at tight end. Now, I seen, you know, I seen, you know, I don't want to be, I'm trying not to be critical here. I'm trying not to be critical here.
It's all right.
Practice got to be like game
Yeah.
because then the game is easy. You can't turn on the switch on game day and want to practice hard and do the things necessary to be successful.
Mhm.
I mean, the I'm watching one-on-ones with the receivers and DBs, and I'm watching routes being ran. I'm watching coverages whatsoever. Defense won that day.
Mhm.
Just want to say that, and I hate to say that. I don't. I don't know how these receivers are being taught. I'm gonna be critical at the receivers because that's the position I play,
Mhm.
and that's the position I coach. So I don't know what's going on there because they all look the same, but Patterson. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
They all run the same. They all do the same. They all but Patterson has a little wiggle to him. He has a little swag to him, and all the rest of them are just running.
Mhm.
It's not like Geronimo has a little bit to him, but the rest of the guys are just guys right now.
Mhm.
Nobody has separated themselves from the pack. And unfortunately I didn't get to see London because he's hurt.
I
But
was going to ask. So he
yeah,
didn't do anything.
yeah,
He
he
was.
didn't do anything. So at the end of the day, he stood out. And plus, the quarterbacks, they're just phenomenal at that level, man, throwing the football.
Mhm.
These young guys can just flat out throw the football. And it was just beautiful watching them throw the football. Um, and the intensity picked up towards the end, 7-on-7 and team. But you know, every day you can't go every day. You gotta have a plan to go out to practice. You can't just go to practice. As Allen Iverson talked about, you talking about practice?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about practice. Every day when I went out to practice, before I went out to practice, I made a list of 10 things that I wanted to accomplish
Mhm.
during that practice. And after that practice, when we sat in the meetings, did I do it? And if I didn't do it, it would go on the list for the next day.
Well,
It was,
give me an
it was
example. What's on that list?
well, the first thing is give all honor, glory to God.
Mhm.
The second thing is probably like uh out hustle everybody, don't miss a block, beat, bump, and run, don't drop a ball, um, hustle to after doing a play. Like for
Yeah.
instance, the guy on the other side of the field caught the ball, hustle to block the other, hustle to the other side to help whatsoever.
Mhm.
Don't fumble, things like that.
That's a good
You know,
list. Yeah.
things like that. And every day there was something. Okay. Then it was, I want to run this route in one-on-one, this route in one-on-one, and I'm not changing it. You
Mhm.
know, that's I had a plan every day I
Yeah.
went out to practice. I had a plan. I just didn't go out to practice to practice. I had a plan because I knew that was going to make me better. And I think guys today just go to practice. You know, you should have a plan. By now, I don't care what position you play. You've been going one-on-ones all summer against O-line, D-line, linebackers, running backs, tight ends, linebackers, safeties, DBs, corners. They've been going one-on-one. By now, you should have a book on every guy that you went up against to know exactly what you're going to get and exactly how you're going to beat him.
Mm-hmm.
You can't come out to practice and say, I hope I beat him today. You can't do that, William.
Gotta prepare, huh?
I had a book.
Yeah.
Who does what, how they do it, what they can do, what they can't do. I got to find a way to win today.
That's awesome, though.
That was, I had a game plan. I had a note. I wish I had them notebooks, William. I had notebooks of everything. So for you to become great or be very good at this game, you got to have a plan. Can't just go out there and just say, hey, we're going to stretch, we're going to go through individual, one-on-one, 7-on-7 team, and we're going to call it conditioning and we're going to call it a day. You're just going to work, punching the clock. You ain't getting better. You ain't making nobody else better. So you got to have a plan.
And I want to ask you because you made me. I like that whole book idea. Did you have something in there written for Dion and what you had to do?
Oh yeah, and Dion would tell you. What I had for Dion was I was going to be physical with Dion.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to be physical with Dion and play with him in the middle of the field, which he didn't like.
Yeah.
So the game plan was, we knew when we played the Cowboys, when he went to Dallas,
Mm-hmm.
that he was going to match up with me. So we moved me in the slot because I said, Coach, he can't. If this was going to happen, I need to be in the slot in this game, and that's what we did. And I got physical with him when he came to bump out. Back then I had these big old arms. I had these things. I was putting those things, and I used to shine them up so they was bigger. So and he'll tell you, he told my son one time. He said, "Ooh, your daddy come out there with the arms shining and put them big old arms on you." I ain't want no part. He said, "I ain't want no part of that." I knew there was gonna be a day. We was gonna go at it all day. So I had a plan for everybody. I had something for everybody, what they can do and what they couldn't do.
And I'm not knocking our current coaches, but that's why they need you in that building. You've got that experience, and you talk about things that I don't hear from a lot of different coaches and things of that nature. So, and I've never heard of that, but that makes sense. You need that plan before you go to practice.
Right.
Because you're just running around, just doing drills. You don't actually have a set goal of what you want to attain to. And that makes sense. And I can imagine, even the small things, the hustle and the hustling back and forth.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's too many guys that walk around and just, it's like, and see, and the thing, I saw the same thing at practice, and maybe I'm being the devil's advocate. Maybe it's just because they're like, hey, it's a fan day thing. Just try to do some highlight type things and sign autographs. Well, I don't know.
I was sitting next to Algie Crumpler, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they was transitioning to another period. And we both said, Dan Reeves would never let us walk on the field like that. When it was time to transfer, to go transition, when that whistle blew, we were on the go.
Yeah.
We were on the go. We were on the go. On the go. If we had to come off the sideline, we never walked on the field. Never walked on the field. It was one of those things. It was just, it's just the little things, man.
I agree.
That brings you together. It's just the little things that bring you together. And back to your thing, being in the building, I would love to be in the building. I would love to be there to share with them, even if it's as a consultant or whatever. I would love to do that, because here's the thing. If you want to, everybody wants to be great in this game.
Mm-hmm.
But some have never been taught the the lessons of how to be very good at this game in longevity. And then if you don't have people in the building, we talked about championship pedigree last time we talked, right?
Mhm.
I'm gonna go further. If you don't have championship pedigree coaches or coaches that have played at a high level and did great things at that high level, or even good things at
Yeah.
that high level, it's hard to translate greatness or championship pedigree to a group and you've never done it before. Makes sense?
Makes a lot of sense.
Now, you can have a head coach or a coordinator whatsoever who can instill that in your offensive staff or whatsoever, and they can pick up on it. But if they don't have it or have never been around it, and you don't know what it feels like, how can you give it?
Just a quick question. How can in today's coaches, how can they enforce things like you say with Dan Reeves, with have people to sprint or run and hustle up? I mean, because they're all grown men, they make millions of dollars. So what can they do to actually make sure they're sprinting and they're doing what they're supposed to?
The players do it. The players do it. We patrol ourselves. We
Okay.
hold each other accountable. When we see somebody walk, hey man, jog up the field. Coaches don't have to say anything.
Mhm.
You know, at some point, a leader has to stand up and say, hey man, let's hustle. Let's get off the field. Let's go. Let's go. Let's move. Let's move. Next drill. Next drill. Let's move. Let's move. You know,
Mhm.
it people don't understand little things like that makes Sundays a little bit easier. You know what I mean? That's an extra conditioning that you're getting just going from period to period.
Exactly. I was thinking of that too. Exactly. That constant running with you,
Yes.
you not walking from here to
Right.
there, like run, because you're going to be running. You're going to be in fourth quarters and you might be gassed.
Right. And
You
we
gonna-
go back to this. They're going to get there.
Mhm.
They're going to get there. This is a young football team. This is a young, inexperienced coaching staff. They're going to get there. You know, we just got to be patient. They're going to get there. And I told you they're going to get there. They're going to do some great things and they're going to do some things that's going to make you scratch your head. But once they start implementing championship pedigree, not only in the front office, coaching staff, but in the locker room, now you start to see us separate ourselves from the middle of the pack.
Mhm.
And I see promise this year. I see a better attitude. I see better football. I see more fun. I see more energy. But we're gonna need a lot of help to get us to the next, to get us to where we need to be.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's great stuff. What you got for us in the show today?
Man, I don't have much today, William. I just want to. Here's a time where we just need to thank God for all the things that He's done in our lives. We tend to, when we pray, we tend to ask God for things. Get me out of debt. I want to be healthy. I want a spouse. I want to be rich. I want a good job. I want. And all God wants is for you to say, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you for waking me up this morning. Thank you for putting a roof over my head. Thank you for putting food in my belly, clothes on my back. Thank you for my right mind. Thank you for all the things that you have done for me to get me to this point. Because you have to know, you may be going through a rough moment right now, but you have to know He didn't bring you this far to leave you.
Mhm.
He didn't bring you this far to leave you. Just hold on and thank Him for where He brought you from. And then more blessings will come your way.
Right on. Right on. I hope everyone has a great day. Can remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel, Atlanta Sports Unlimited. Let's go Falcons. Let's keep the
Yeah.
tempo up.
Yes.